You're listening to the Occupational Philosophers with Simon Banks and John Rice.
Hello and welcome to the Occupational Philosophers, a not-so-serious business podcast designed to spark your curiosity, creativity and imagination. And this is an Inbetweener episode, which is a short, sharp burst of delight to tickle your ears. And this week we're bringing to you something that we couldn't get into the guest episode with Jez Rose, which was a few weeks back, but we thought was just too good not to share. Simon, you might remember this. It was a thought experiment that we couldn't get into the original episode that we thought, we've got to share this, didn't we?
And this is the Jez Rose Garden of Curious Delights. Would that be correct, John?
Yes, I think I might have even put in Lost Garden to make it sound more mysterious.
Ooh, who doesn't like a lost garden? So look, on that, let's hand over to Jez. Now, look, it's time for a thought experiment, and we like to continue the tradition of philosophers throughout the ages that ask questions and think differently and conduct experiments to create new neural pathways in the brain and take us to a place of enlightenment. So, John, you've got a thought experiment. Let's hear what it is.
I have. I'm quite excited about this. So, Jez, look, with your love of nature and all things creative, we have a very special thought experiment specifically for you, Jez, which is we want you to become a landscape gardener and build your very own lost garden of curiosity, creativity, and imagination. And consider the garden for a moment. Soil providing nutrients, foundations, and roots. Flowers providing sensory stimuli, sight, smell, and touch. Fauna providing birds, bees, cross-fertilization. Vegetables, which are good for you. Sort of get the idea. So, but what we want is the garden would make sprouts of curiosity, wild stems of creativity, and blooms of imagination come through. I'm getting a bit carried away.
So let's start with the soil. So, what would be in the base? To sprout these things.
He thought he was going to like this, and now he's going, what the?
Yeah, I thought I was going to be our plants. I was going to tell you what I was doing in my garden, and now I'm trying to wade my way through a metaphor with a machete.
We're twisting your melon. You can have a machete in this garden.
Well, yeah, I'm going to need it by the sound of it to keep you from bloody popping up every time you want to pee around. What would be in the soil? Oh, my gosh. It would, questions. It would be littered with questions. That's what the soil would be. Like a vermiculite of questions to aid drainage and provide nutrients.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm getting good at this already.
Yeah. What about the sensory stimuli, the flora? What would you have in there that would cultivate?
I would have groups of people from every single culture in the world.
Nice.
In cultural dress. So that you are drawn to colours and shape and things that you've never seen before and that you've been naturally curious about. But of course, the joy is that, I sort of get it now with my plant app. I can snap a plant, it'll tell me everything about it on my phone. But in this metaphor, it would encourage you could just go up and ask people and say, hey, the bone through your nose, what does that represent? What's it about? This incredible dress, why is it all decorated with these tiny little beads? Yeah, that's what I would create. Yeah, that's great. I'm loving this already. Does it sort of sound a bit like the garden of a serial killer, though?
Well, we can put the machete to one side, obviously.
After John's being hacked down for his annoying habits. Now, thinking along,
peering through the rhododendron,
thinking on the lines of
that's the only plant I know.
Fauna. We might have this sort of crossover. What type of fauna would we have in the garden to create this space of creativity and imagination, curiosity?
Oh, wow. Now, that is a good question. I sort of got a bit, I feel like I peaked, Simon. I'm not going to lie. I mean, answers 1 and 2 were very good. I'm not sure they really need to be anymore. I think the fauna would be, I'm trying to think of how to describe it, memories from your own life. So there would be a kind of like a broad leaf memories, with amazing detail, and then tiny little thin memories like bamboo that seem kind of wispy. They're still there, and they create movement in your mind. When the wind blows, you can see there's some interaction and some movement, but you can't necessarily quite pick out all of the detail that you'd want.
Right. Now I'm going to commit to this. I'm quite handy with a pen, so I am going to draw this over the next 3 to 4 weeks. This will come to life, this little garden. So yes.
No way.
Yeah,
that's what we should do.
I'll draw this. This garden is coming to life. So
can I get a copy?
Yeah, you heard it here first. Yeah.
Can you send a photo? Oh, this will. Oh my gosh! Honestly, guys, you've made my day. This will sit. I'm going to print it out with your permission, and it will sit in my office. I'm going to frame it.
Well, if you got any more things you want to put in it, Jez, then just let us know.
Oh wow!
Cafes, toilets, kids play.
The sadistic part of my mind's kicking in. I'm thinking, what's really difficult to draw?
And on that was our thought experiment of this garden of curiosity, creativity, and imagination.
So there we go. That was, as I say, too good a thought experiment not to put out there.
John, that was a pretty great show. Wow, Jez, what a polymath, even though he doesn't like that. What an inspirational cat, hey?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that, as ever. He had some fantastic insights. He's quite a deep thinker, as we would expect on such a show, but really nice that he's able to bring levity and lightness to it, but then actually sort of real zone in and nail some real wonderful bits of wisdom. So yeah, very enjoyable. What were your takeaways from today?
Now, look, it's been a 12-hour show, so I'll be really quick. Okay, I really like this idea of grow slow. So just a little bit of patience, especially when we're solving problems. It's okay to go a little bit slower. And I like this one, and this is, I guess, my own note, but if you're stuck, ask a question. Like, don't sort of, so ask a how might we question, or just ask some more questions. And then creativity needs fuel, energy, inspiration, input, teams. So keep up with the fuel. What about you, John? What were your ones?
Yeah, well, echo some of that. I mean, questions-wise, I just like that very simple question of saying, look, what was the best bit of today? You know, having that moment to ask a question that reflects on what's brought you joy or what you've been proud of has been something that's been successful, and celebrate that. So it is a lovely question to build into daily, weekly practice. So that was a good reminder. I love the seasonal change model. So I look forward to hearing more about that through Jez and his new book. But the idea that every change starts in autumn, there's some sort of things where it unravels and then you go into some sort of period of reflection, hibernation, think about things differently, and then you spring forth and suddenly then you come into the abundance of summer. It's a lovely, lovely metaphor, just following that natural order of things and letting things play out over those seasons and accept that it's going to be that way. So that was lovely. And then I was really pleased that we did the Lost Garden of Curiosity, Creativity and Imagination, because that's going to be a fantastic picture. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, the public announcement, I thought, no, if there's no accountability, I'll make sure it's done, and we'll post it on the site and our socials and a few different spots as well. So look, that's us, John. So look, as always, we would love for you to give us a rating. And look, I know when we say that, you go, yeah, whatever. But look, it's great because it lets other people know about the show. Tell your friends as well. Thank you to everyone who's listening all over the world, all over the States, all over Europe. So thank you for France, Germany, Hungary, Illinois, Wisconsin, California, Florida, New Jersey, all of those great spots. And as always, John, as always,
stay curious, make stuff, have fun, play more, and date life.
Now, John, I'm just interested, if you were to create your own special garden, what would you put in it?
Well, I'll probably have a water feature. That's always quite relaxing. That'd be nice. And maybe some gnomes.
Yeah,
some gnomes
cool.
Just to keep watch over everything.
And I'm thinking, if it's in England, a complaints box as well, because we like to visit the Heritage Trust. Yeah, lines too long.
Yeah, if this didn't spark your curiosity, creativity and imagination, you can ask for your money back.